Well, we have arrived at day 31. We've spent a whole month talking about the fire of grief. It's hard to believe that the month has gone by so quickly. I have my dog here. See if I could pan it and you can see him. Mm, There he goes. Anyways, um, there's so many words and not enough words that I have to really describe what this process has been like for me. And I truly hope that it's been a positive experience for you as well. Talking about these things, it's not the norm for us because, well, frankly, we don't want to talk about it. It's not the good, feely type of conversation. And yet, we must. We must, because the more we can be in sacred conversations around things that are going to happen, we're going to meet it. The more we can come into an inner experience of gratitude, of walking step by step with what it means to be human. We can't escape loss. We can't escape grief. They're a part of our experience in this finite realm, right? And yet there's a sense of joy knowing that I may belong to this finite world. My body belongs to this finite world. But the truth of who I am, my soul, my spirit, is infinite. And that is what I keep within me. And that is also what I allow myself to feel, knowing that Hassel, my mother, friends that I've lost, that they're not truly dead. Their finite selves are, right? This organic matter that we call the body. That part of them has run its course. But who they truly are, still so alive. More alive than they ever were when they were in the finite realm. Right? So let's do our little embodiment, right? We're not going to deviate from what we normally do. So let's go there. So I decided to come outside because, yeah, it's been a rainy week and it's actually warm enough that I can sit outside. Cool, but not cold. So wherever you are, assume the royal position. I love saying that. I don't know why. It brings me joy. You see, I wore my head this way so my crown is on top of my head, right? Like I have my crown. And I have a little splash of red there to symbolize grounding. And so I started this episode in a sexy dress, all dolled up, and because I wanted to celebrate. I wanted to celebrate my journey. And you may not be in that place yet to celebrate your journey, but the celebration is all about walking in the totality of this experience we have as human beings. And that includes loss and grief and death. So we're settling in and we're assuming the royal position. We're lengthening up the spine, relaxing the shoulders down and away from our ears, softening the jaw. Okay. And then you can gently close your eyes, or if you need to keep it open because you feel a bit more safe, please do that. Okay. And I want you to bring your awareness to the bottom of your feet against the ground or your feet tucked in. And I want you to simply breathe with your feet. Just notice the feet and breathe. Imagine that you're breathing through your feet. and allowing the exhalation, whatever it is that you're releasing through that exhale. Maybe you've had a rough day, a stressful day, an anxious day, a joyful day. Feel all of that being released out through the feet. And so we are releasing from the top of the head all the way down through the feet. And so with every in-breath you take, bringing in fresh, new awareness, life, vitality. And then we're using that exhalation to pull all of what we no longer need down and out through the feet. And now bring your awareness to your nostrils and become aware of the breath flowing in and out of the nostrils. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Sensing your body, sensations, emotions that are coming and going, thoughts that are coming and going. And then let's conclude with 3 cleansing breaths. Exhale all the way out through the mouth. And take a deep, invigorating in-breath. Exhale out with a sigh. And inhale, breathe in life. Exhale, share that life. And one more time, breath in. And a releasing breath out. Okay. So I want you to just take your hands to opposite shoulders, drop your chin to chest. And I want you to give yourself a hug for showing up to this series, for showing up for yourself, showing up to life, showing up to your grief. And give a little squeeze. And exhale, release. So as I was petting my dog, his name is Zorro, it reminded me of how precious pets are when we are in grief and how they really help to transmute some of the energies. They know when we're sad, when we're crying, they come to us during those times. And they're actually absorbing some of that energy for us too. Cats and dogs. Cats do it on a deeper level, but dogs do it as well. So if you have a pet and they've been with you on your grief journey, honor them because they are master transmuters. So I'm so honored to be able to speak about grief for many different reasons, right? But one of the main reasons why I've enjoyed doing this series and why I brought it forward, it's because I want us to connect more with our humanity, more of what it means to be human, more of what it means to meet ourselves in the uncomfortable spaces that exist, spaces that we would prefer not to be in, not to approach. And yet, as we approach with curiosity, we are met with compassion on the journey. And the compassion is the compassion that we unveil for ourselves. And so the grief journey truly invites us inward. And we are used to putting our attention outward. And this is specifically why I wanted to do this series on the fire of grief, because there are no shortages of talks and books on grief. And I wanted to simply bring a different perspective to the conversation. Is how can we look at this very human experience with new lenses? Not with the lens of, oh my God, look what has happened to me. Right? Not with the lens of victimization, because there are no victims here. We are not a victim to grief. We're not a victim to loss. We're not a victim to death. These are and will always be opportunities of awakening for us. The sheer act of our suffering is what awakens us out of any slumber, any ignorance that we have been in. And it opens up the portals of our heart, because grief is all about love. At the end of the day, it's all about love. And to have loved so deeply is worth it. To have loved so deeply is worth it. And I would place myself on that sword over and over and over again. Because this is why I'm here in this finite experience. It's to learn more about love in all different ways, in different ways. So I wanted to share with you a little write-in that I did. I'm not sure how long ago I wrote this. And so part of what we're doing in our experience as human beings with loss, grief, and death is we're learning how to drop it. Right? We're learning how to drop it. What are we dropping? We're dropping any perspective, ideology, philosophy that says we are separate. We're learning how to love, not just by experiencing each other in the flesh, but also experiencing each other from the soul vantage point. What I've been learning and unlearning in the last 7 years since Hassel died is a radical sense of trust. Grief is not here to diminish me, but to truly show me the way. It is here to reorient my life in a way in which I never imagined. We resist its teaching because we as humans are attached to everything. The people in our lives, right? Everything. But if we can shift that attachment to its true root and abide in the love that runs beneath it, grief will show us how to become masters in our own lives. I am unlearning so many things, namely scarcity and mistrust mindset. I'm learning how to be brave, and how to trust. I'm unlearning people pleasing. I'm learning that I can always be any form of me, regardless of what others may think or approve of. I am developing a healthy attitude with fear. Yeah? So there's also this journey that we go on with fear in the grieving process. Yeah? Giving fear a seat at the table to voice its concerns, but to not allow it to drive the bus, is a radical shift in my perspective. I'm trusting in joy once again, giving room for sadness and grief when it arrives so they can teach me more about my humanity. I'm unlearning attachment. I am learning about freedom. To love with an open heart and open hand. I am learning that nothing belongs to me, so I can let things come and go. I am learning that my ego is not my enemy. It seeks to protect me from a limited viewpoint. But I'm learning that I can override the fear of my ego and show it a different way to live without trashing the parts of me to make it feel bad. I'm learning how to thank everyone in every situation, even those tough and challenging ones. I'm learning how to bless them, for in blessing them, I am blessing myself and opening the door to a higher timeline for myself. I'm learning there is no me, moving beyond seeing the smallness of a me. All right? So moving beyond the smallness of me has really expanded my vision. I'm unlearning attachment to trauma and inviting love at its deepest core to be my true healer. To approach all aspects of my inner child and its experiences with sacred honoring, to do the work of healing from a place of awareness. But more importantly, I'm also learning how to abide in stillness and to stop interfering in my own life and the lives of others, to trust inherently that everyone has the inner capacity to thrive. And so as we continue to journey in our healing journey with grief, it's to simply allow, to open ourselves. Can I be brave enough to feel? Can I be brave enough to sit with that emotion, that energy in motion, whatever it happens to be? Can I be brave enough? Can I be brave enough? Zora wants to go in. Almost done, buddy. Almost done. Right? Enjoy the outside. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being on this ride with me, being on this journey with me, for bringing your grief along for the ride as well. Day by day, moment by moment, hour by hour, minutes, seconds, we show up. We simply show up. There's nothing to fix because you're not broken. You're not broken. What you are is human. You're a human being having an incredible ride in this finite world. So what comes next after the fire of grief? I'll be figuring that out. But I'll continue to create some videos and some shorts along the same lines in terms of how do we continue to expand our awareness as human beings. And expanding our awareness invites more peace into our lives. Invites our consciousness to settle in the domain of presence. Right here, right now. To choose love and not fear. And yet, if fear is present, to let fear ride in the back seat, not drive the car. So let's see what one last message Spirit has for us. It's a windy day and I love watching the leaves. Right? I love watching them dance. I love the rustling sound. It's one of my favorite things. Fall is such an amazing season. This is the only thing that I would miss if I actually moved to a country that is hot year-round. I would miss fall. I would miss seeing the change in colors on the trees. I'd miss that. Hey, Spirit, what message do you have for us? That was quick. So the message today is action. What action will you now take? Yes, baby. Yeah. Mom is almost done. What action will you now take? So I do have some grief workbooks and things of that nature. So if you're interested, put it in the chat. Comment how this experience has been for you. I look forward to doing many, many more videos, to come. But honestly, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for joining me on this very brave adventure of diving into the fire of grief, holding that space for yourself, learning, unlearning who you are becoming in this process. Who you are becoming in this process. Take it slow, take it easy. Don't let anybody rush you out of anything. Stay in command of your own inner authority. Don't believe everything that is told to you, but go and investigate it for yourself. Go and see if it's true for you. That's the most important thing that we right now can do. So sending you so much love. Each and every one of you, sending you so much love. I'm so grateful. And I look forward to seeing what the next series I'm going to do will be on. Until then, I'm sending you so much blessings.